So this has been also a very eventful week for the devotees of the Krishna consciousness movement, because the original and chief pujari of the main deity of Nrisimhadev in Sridham Mayapur, the headquarters of the Krishna consciousness movement, Pankajanghri Prabhu, left his body on this Tuesday. Who here has heard the name or knows who Pankajanghri is? Please raise your hand. He was a very exalted devotee, and he had a twin, has a twin named Janani, identical twin, and they, a little bit of a gap. Pankajanghri came later, Janani came first, but they've been serving the project of Mayapur, Janani, since its inception in 1972, nearly 50 years. And they have become most beloved and dear to all the devotees all around the world. And we can see that the position of serving Krishna in his deity form directly, unwaveringly, steadfast, how that makes one very dear to everyone. The Bhagavad Gita says that the pure devotee not only, that's what a lot of people would want. They want to become famous, that they become dear to everyone. But the other side is equal, if not more important, that everyone becomes dear to you. So we were hearing that Prahlad Maharaj is the vote of all the topmost devotional qualities that have delivered his entire family. So, how do we know how to approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead? His likes, his dislikes, his moods, his will, his desire and direction for us? The best way is to take the association of those who are constantly in service to the Supreme Lord. So, going back to 1984, our temple in Mayapur was attacked by dacoits who caused great harm to devotees and to the property and even to the deities. We'll only say that, not get into detail. So it was decided at that time to get a deity of Lord Nrisimhadev for protection. In the previous disciplic generation, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, a similar mischievous event happened at the Yogapeeth, the place of Lord Chaitanya's appearance, and Srila Bhaktisiddhanta ordered a deity of Nrisimhadev, Prahlad Maharaj, and Lakshmi Devi to be installed. Those of you who go there, you can see that deity. And from that time on, they had no more troubles. So, Lord Nrisimhadev, particularly Ugra Nrisimhadev, there's different forms based on the posture and activity that is the deity is immediately engaged in. So this form of Ugra Nrisimha is appearing with 8 or 10 arms with weapons. His main arms, his nails are out, he's ready to, and he's in a stance that he's ready to leap and spring. He's ready to attack and kill Hiranyakashipu. And in martial arts, or in such a situation where it's now or never, all or nothing, kill or be killed, your adrenaline is pumping, and all of your intense anger, or in Sridev's case, transcendental anger, is focused and elevated to the highest intensity. So, those who will worship this form of Ugra Nrisimhadev, first and foremost, one must be Naishtik Brahmachari. One must be in the renounced order and has not fallen down. What the speaker will fall down. And just the mood of the deity in that form is so, we see in the pastimes in the 7th canto, that the Lord appeared and he ripped the demon Hiranyakashipu to shreds, and then his loyal followers came by the thousands, and similarly he just killed them all and set down roaring unconstituted on the very throne that Hiranyakashipu had made for himself. No equal or no so-called contestant came forward to challenge his supremacy. But he kept roaring in anger. So Lord Rama, who was the chief living entity in this universe and also made the foolish mistake of giving benediction to Hiranyakashipu, by which he was, when it was all said and done and all the dust settled, and Lord Nrisimhadev was pacified, he said, my dear Rama, giving benedictions to envious persons who are cruel and vicious like snakes is not good. I warn you to not give such benedictions again. So all of the demigods, beginning with Lord Rama, Lord Shiva, all went forward to offer prayers. His anger did not abate. But finally, they decided to send Prahlad Maharaj, who was only a 5-year-old boy, but he was a topmost Mahabhagavat, pure devotee. And he pacified the Lord with his prayers. Why? Because Anyabilasita Sunya Jnana Karmani Annavitam, he had no material desires in his heart at all. There was an exchange, well, who would be the Pujari, and this point came up that you better be very strictly following the regular principles. Anyway, by and by, Pankajanghri agreed, and right from the time that Nrisimhadev was installed in Mayapur in 1986, for 35 years steadfast, he's been the Pujari. And he has brought forth the realization, very much so, that Lord Nrisimhadev is Krishna. And not that worshipping Lord Nrisimhadev means that you don't have access to Lord Chaitanya, to Radha and Krishna, Radha and Madhava, like that. One class that I heard that, not personally, but I heard on the player, he was reading from Bhaktivinoda Thakur's exalted literature, Navadvip Bhavataranga, which is a transcendental pilgrim's parikram guide in ecstasy, going to all the different exalted holy places and very powerfully extracting the essence of those places in the form of very tangible appearance and benediction by the Lord and Istadev, worshipful deity of that place, upon Bhaktivinoda Thakur. So here he describes his visit to Nrisimhapoli. I will roll about on the ground in ecstatic love while visiting the residence of Lord Nrisimhadev. So this is the place where, after dispatching Hiranyakashipu, the bloody mess, Nrisimhadev wanted to clean up. He wanted to wash. So, rolling about on the ground in the residence of Nrisimhadev, sincerely begging for his grace without a trace of duplicity in my heart, I will attain Krishna Prema. So, the honest advancing devotee comes to realize the full extent of implication in the material world and being under the influence of the modes of material nature and false ego. And he, with all humility, admits, within my sinful heart, the 6 enemies headed by lust perpetually reside, as well as duplicity. The desire for fame plus sheer cunning. At the lotus feet of Lord Nrisimhadev, I hope that he will mercifully purify my heart and give me the desire to serve Lord Krishna. So devotees would go to Pankajanghri, Lord Nrisimhadev's Pujari, and ask for blessings, make a prayer on my behalf, and because this is the way to approach Lord Nrisimhadev, remove my material desires. One devotee once said, whatever it takes, and Pankajanghri Actually, this entire material world is a gigantic workshop for whatever it takes to convince the fallen conditioned souls to come to their senses and take shelter of the Supreme Personality of God and perform pure devotional service without any motivation. Weeping, I will beg at the lotus feet of Lord Nrisimhadev for the benediction of worshiping Radha and Krishna in Navadvip, perfectly safe and free from all difficulties. One of the convincing points that made Pankajanghri Prabhu accept the service of Lord Nrisimhadev was, I don't remember who was even in scripture or the acharyas have said, that the predominating deity of that place, in this case, Sri Mayapur, which is non-different than Vrindavan. Anyone who lives, anyone who leaves their body in Mayapur, they achieve the same destination as those who leave their body in Vrindavan. So, who is the presiding deity of Sri Mayapur? Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And what is his mood? Extreme mercifulness, Raya. So even Nrisimhadev, his form is very fearful to the non-devotees. But to the devotees, it's the greatest solace, the greatest comfort and security. The lion is very ferocious. But to her cubs, she is. So here, this Lord Nrisimhadev in Mayapur Dham is meant to remove our material desires and obstacles so we can worship the divine couple, which is the ultimate goal of life, perfectly safe and free from all difficulties. When will this Lord Hari, whose terrible form strikes fear into fear itself, ever become pleased to show me his mercy? One of Pankajanghri's very deeply profound realizations over the years was that Lord Nrisimhadev, the thing he likes to do the most is remove the devotees' obstacles. Even though Lord Nrisimhadev is terrifying toward the sinful souls, he offers great auspiciousness unto the devotees of Lord Krishna, headed by Prabhu Maharaj. When will he be pleased to speak words of compassion unto me, a worthless fool, and thereby make me fearless? He will say, Dear child, sit down freely and live happily here in Sri Gauranga Dham. May you nicely worship the divine couple, and may you develop loving attachment for their holy names. By the mercy of my devotees, all obstacles are cast far away. With a purified heart, just perform the worship of Radha and Krishna, for such worship overflows with the sweetest nectar. Saying this, will that Lord delightedly place his own divine lotus feet upon my head? Suddenly I will experience sublime love for the divine couple of Radha and Krishna and undergo the ecstatic transformations called Sakhika. This is the nectar for which we were always anxious that Lord Chaitanya describes in the Shashastra. Falling on the ground, I will roll about by the door of the Shrinivadev's temple. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Nrisimhadev, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possesses nails and teeth just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activity in the material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. I'm going to conclude by simply reading this translation, the next verse translation, and save looking into the purports of these verses for later time. Stay tuned. May there be good fortune throughout the universe, and may all envious persons be pacified. May all living entities become calm by practicing bhakti yoga, for by accepting devotional service, they will think of each other's welfare. Therefore, let us all engage in the service of the Supreme Transcendence, Lord Sri Krishna, and always remain absorbed in thoughts of Him. Hare Krishna. So thank you very much. All glories to Shri Shri Radha Govinda. All glories to Lord Nrisimhadev. Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. And all glories to His Grace Pankajanghri Prabhu, who went back home, back to Godhead, in service to the Holy Dham and Lord Nrisimhadev. Hare Krishna.